Good morning. Welcome graduands, family and friends to this very special occasion here at the Guildhall in Southampton. It is my role as Pro-Chancellor at the University to declare this ceremony open for the conferment of awards. On behalf of the University and all my colleagues here today, let me be the first to offer our warmest congratulations to you all. This is a momentous occasion and one that I'm sure you and your parents and friends will remember for the rest of their lives. To say that your university experience has been unusual would be an understatement. Studying for a degree is demanding enough. During the COVID time, it added extra strain, and I'm sure you've had to become more resilient. However, you have worked extremely hard to get here today, and you've overcome so much, and that should stand you in good stead for the future. I would also want to underline that the achievements you have made, despite the troubling times, will really enable you to go forward and think how resilient you can be when other things happen during your lifetime, during your career, and during your family. And I really hope you're looking forward with optimism and determination for the future. Everyone who has passed through our university and across our graduation stages has played a vital part in the university's identity. And I hope you will take pride in being a community of this university for life. You are part of our 161-year history. Life began humbly as the Hartley Institution in the city in 1862, and we're now world-renowned with 7 campuses, including one in Malaysia that I was lucky enough to visit a couple of years ago. And globally, we're amongst the top 100 universities in the world. In the UK, we're in the top 20. We're also, as I'm sure you're aware, a member of the Russell Group. About 45 years ago, I walked across the stage at the Turner Sims Hall. It was the first time I'd ever been in there, and got my degree certificate in engineering. I hadn't quite realised at the time how big a moment that was, not just for me, but also for my family. I think it was a sense of relief that I might leave the payroll of my father, and that we'd actually go out and do something useful. I hope you also treat today, it's a huge thing for yourselves. You've been through a very hard time, and it's a huge thing for your family, and you probably don't quite realise yet how much expectation there is on that closing of one chapter. I've used basically my university training almost throughout my career. I'm an engineer, have been from start to finish, and perhaps not the exact detail, but the principles of what I learned at university on how things work, how things should work, how software works, etc. I used almost every day in my career, whether it was in aerospace, nuclear, civil, or automotive. I'm sure you will do the same. There's huge challenges out there, and you are part of the people that are capable of leading from the front or being part of the changes that are required. The other thing I'd just like to point out is I'm sure, and I really hope you've met a lot of really interesting people at the university, and you've become friends with some of them. As it happens, on Wednesday this week, I had dinner with 3 of my friends from university. We were all a lot greyer, all a lot thinner, maybe, and certainly the quality of wine had improved. There's little more rewarding than using the skills you have learnt than helping the community moving forward. Your education has been informed by the latest research and ideas, with your lectures and research sessions often featuring newly proven theories or hours-old discoveries. You are used to working at the forefront of your fields, mainly due to the staff that we have collected behind me and alongside other experts, and you help find solutions to the problems you've solved, and you will use that going forward. Clearly, one of the huge changes we have as a community is climate change. Engineers and scientists are going to fix that. Everyone else can just paint butterflies on the side of their van. But you need engineers and scientists to make things happen. Our rapidly changing world requires us to respond with creativity, curiosity, and reactivity, all of which you possess in spades. And you are far more fortunate than most of the people you will meet outside. So please use that creativity and that leadership, thought leadership, throughout your career. And with all the challenges we're seeing in the world today come new opportunities to change things for the better. And while I'm sure many of you will be have national and international impact, please remember that the changing world can also be done on local and personal levels. So don't forget, while you're busy making waves, while you're busy inventing things, leading companies, changing the research, that give some time to volunteer, whether it's being a school governor, helping a charity, being a mentor to people, it doesn't matter. You're extremely capable people. Share that expertise and that knowledge. And success and achievement are all the better when you can share it and help improve the lives of other people. And so on that note, let us share the joy in your success and achievements today and celebrate together. So here's to you, our students, our graduands, our graduates, our alumni, our inspiration and our future. So let's continue with today's ceremony and welcome you into the next stage of your lives. Thank you.
So, as one would expect, technical mistakes always happen. So, first of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Hare. I am Professor of Machine Learning and Deputy Head of School for the School of Electronics and Computer Science. My job this morning is to read a speech, which I was expecting to find in front of me, but it's not. So, if you bear with me a second, I'm just going to bring it up on my phone. I'll try to. Okay, so without further ado, apologies for the delay. So, as I said, I'm here to read a citation for an award. This is a Rising Star Award, which is given to one of our former graduates who graduated within the last 5 years. This award is for Tululipe Ogunremi. So, Tululipe Ogunremi is an exceptional doctoral researcher and founder of Coders of Color, which helps young people between the ages of 11 and 25 to access training in digital skills such as machine learning, app development, and web development. During the COVID-19 pandemic, they contributed to bridging the digital divide by facilitating laptop donations to those in desperate need of them. Tululipe is a self-taught programmer who started coding from the age of 13. As her skills and interests developed, she began to attend events to improve her coding acumen further, but began to realize that there were few attendees who looked like her or came from similar backgrounds in the room. After participating in the National Under-18s Hackathon in 2015, she came to the realization that the lack of diversity in coding spaces was a national issue, and one that needs to be addressed. Tululipe joined the University of Southampton in 2016, enrolling on the BSc Mathematics and Computer Science combined program. By December of her first year, she had established Coders with Color, a non-profit organization delivering support, resources, and opportunities to young people of color who remain underrepresented in the tech community. Coders of Color aims to empower and enable young people of color to pursue a career in tech by providing them with a safe space to learn, explore, and grow. Offering free coding workshops online and in person, working with partners including the Tate Britain and the Oxford AI Society. In 2021, she was named in the Forbes 30 Under 30 listings in the social impact category for her work with Coders of Color, the youngest honoree in the category. While immersed in the running of her organisation, Tululipe continued to shine academically, graduating in 2019 with first-class honours. With this impressive result and her strong track record in enterprise, it is no surprise that she found herself accepted onto prestigious programmes of further study, attending the University of Edinburgh, and in 2021 securing 2 coveted fellowships from Stanford University to complete her PhD in computer science. Tululipe's doctoral research project focuses on natural language processing, or NLP, for low-resource languages, particularly in sub-Saharan African languages, including her heritage language, Yoruba. She has built speech recognition and dialogue systems for Yoruba, as well as working on projects using Igbo, Nigerian Pidgin, and Nigerian accented English data. It is clear that Tululipe's work embodies the university's mission to inspire excellence, to achieve the remarkable, and to build an inclusive world. She is eminently worthy of the Outstanding Alumni Award. The Rising Star Award is presented to an alumnus or alumna who has made an outstanding contribution to their field or society within 5 years of graduating from Southampton. Tululipe is a shining example of early career excellence, who is delivering profound social good, and she richly deserves this award. I have the honour of inviting Tululipe Ogunremi to say a few words as the winner of the 2023 Rising Star Award.
Thank you so much for selecting me for this year's Rising Star Outstanding Alumni Award. I'm certain there were many outstanding entries, so I'm honoured to have been selected by the judges. I feel happy, I feel grateful, and I feel fulfilled. I'm happy because I never expected it, but God gave it to me, and I'm grateful to Him. I'm also grateful to those that nominated me and the wonderful lecturers and staff that supported me during my time at Southampton, especially when facing difficult situations. I'd also like to thank the graduates here today for giving me a chunk of their ceremony. As a thank you for this time, I'd like to share a few words about my journey with you all to hopefully help you put things into perspective in your own journeys. When I was at my undergraduate graduation ceremony in 2019, I had no idea I'd be doing what I am today, let alone be recognized for my work. I was actually heading straight into a year out after being unable to secure a master's spot due to deposit particularities. At that point, I was certain about getting into academia, and specifically the subfield of natural language processing. I stumbled upon the field of natural language processing towards the end of my undergraduate degree and discovered a field that merged my interests in computing and spoken languages. However, I had no idea how to get started in the field, and there were no lecturers in the subfield present at Southampton at the time. I was lucky enough to get a gentle introduction during my Erasmus semester, but after my degree, I ended up cold emailing many professors across Europe, asking for a few months of research experience. After many unanswered emails, internal uncertainty kicked in. This was quickly joined with global uncertainty at the official start of the COVID-19 pandemic in March of 2020. With research plans falling through, my values in life were being challenged and put into perspective. I felt I could concretely focus on Coders of Colour, the not-for-profit getting young, underrepresented people of colour into tech full-time, whilst waiting for a research breakthrough, being the opportunity to do research itself. The simultaneous paralysis of mental uncertainty, coupled with the restriction of physical movement due to the pandemic, gave me the opportunity to be comfortable with being short-sighted, as the rest of the world was thinking a few weeks or months at a time. At Coders of Colour, we adapted our programs to run on Zoom and were lucky enough to impact people further than we ever imagined, from the US to Nigeria to Bahrain. I eventually started a master's in speech and language processing, giving me the domain-specific training I needed to apply for a PhD. By the grace of God, I was admitted into the computer science PhD program at Stanford University. Today, I build speech and natural language processing models in African languages, ensuring that cultures are represented in technology, a poetic coalescence of all my interests. Throughout my journey to doctoral studies, my experience working for social impact, I've had no choice but to embrace uncertainty. Certainty regarding what you're doing next or how life will turn out is comforting, but uncertainty is grounding. At some point in life, we will all be grounded by uncertainty. I advise you all to leverage that groundedness to take stock and recalibrate. The world coming to a halt did not stop my social impact or academic pursuits, but it did shape my values and ways of working. You have all impressively embraced uncertainty, experiencing multiple years of your degrees in a pandemic. I have no doubt that your resilience to get to this milestone will remain with you all for the rest of your lives. Just remember to embrace being grounded by uncertainty. Thanks again, and best of luck for your futures.
Good morning, everybody. I do have my speech in front of me, luckily, which is good because I need to start reading out the names. So I'm Dr. Paul Duckmanton. I'm the Deputy Head of School for Education in Chemistry. Pro-Chancellor, I submit to you the candidates from Engineering and Physical Sciences for the awards of Bachelors of Engineering, Bachelor of Science, Master of Chemistry, Master of Engineering, Master of Philosophy, Master of Science, and Doctor of Philosophy.
I admit them and those in their abstentia.
Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Bachelors of Science. Harrison Bayliss. Mehdi Brandon Haji. Ellie Holloway. Ruby Kwon Ching Lee. Ngok Ming Tam Gwen. Quat Teng Tan. Abigail White. Flora Isabel Woods. Holly Manning. Sandra Skitter. Andras Vakassi. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Masters of Chemistry. Sophie Barber. Robert Bradbury. David James Ellaway Smith. Scott Bamforth. Amy Charlotte Christmas. Cornell Goriroda. Simran Gotane Gurung. Alfred Paget. King Ming Wong. Stacey Megan Adams. Jonathan Mark Findell. Hannah Gittins. Daniel George James. Emily Faye Jones. Eleanor Keel. Kush Nadkarni. Bibin Raj. Max Searle. William George Tom Shiras. Theo Malik Duran. Sebastian Raoul Maria van Dijk. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Master of Philosophy. Suyin Pan. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Doctors of Philosophy. For the thesis entitled Flexible Thermoelectric Energy Generators for E-Textiles, Arin Amin. For the thesis entitled The Analysis of Polymeric Excipients Using Ultra-High Performance Supercritical Fluid Chromatography and Mass Spectrometry, there's a few of these. Sergio Cancho Gonzalez. For a thesis entitled The Total Synthesis of Indolo-Carbazole Natural Products and Towards the Synthesis of Plus Spartine, George Edward Chambers. For the thesis entitled Optimizing the Cyclops RTHS Screening Methodology to Identify More Potent Cyclic Peptide Inhibitors of IDOL, James Anthony Cresswell. For a thesis entitled Metal Organic Framework Composites for Nuclear Waste Cleanup, Tom Simon Cricklemore. For a thesis entitled Label-Free Imaging for Drug Delivery Across Biophysical Barriers, James Samuel Peter Harrison. For a thesis entitled The Synthesis of Fluorinated Bioacids and Investigation of Their Hydrogen Bond Properties, Kristina Kovacic. For a thesis entitled Model Microporous IPO Catalysts for Establishing Structure-Performance Relations in C4 Isomerism, Joshua John Mark LeBrock. For a thesis entitled Hard Carbon Composites with Metal Oxides and Metal Nitrides for Sodium-Ion Batteries, Bowen Liu. For a thesis entitled Identification and Development of Novel WNT Beta-Catenin Signal Inhibitors, Michael Aaron McCoy. Julia Melchiori. Alice Elizabeth Oakley. For a thesis entitled Parahydrogen-Induced Polarization in Microfluidic Devices, Sylvia Joanna Ostrovska. For a thesis entitled Development of a Miniaturized System for the High-Throughput Investigations of Biofilm Responses to Antimicrobial Agents, Yelena Pisaruka. For a thesis entitled Flow Photochemical Routes to Indoles and 8-ring lactones and Their Applications in Target Synthesis, William Rembach. For a thesis entitled Optimizing Nanopores for DNA Sequencing, a Computational Perspective, Poonam Soni Ratu. For a thesis entitled Towards the Efficient and Scalable Synthesis of Fluorinated Lead Components, Laurent Zonyan Tam. For a thesis entitled Exploring Linker Fluorination to Optimize PROTAC Potency, Selectivity, and Physical Properties, Robert Ian Troop. For a thesis entitled Using RTHS Cyclops to Identify Inhibitors of the C-MYC-MAX Interaction and Developing Next-Generation Sequencing Approaches to Cyclops, Jacob Samuel Dalrymple Valentine. For a thesis entitled UV Transparent Optical Fiber Coatings, Joseph John Wetter. For a thesis entitled On the Cross-Correlation Relaxation of Homonuclear Spin Pairs, James Whipham. And for a thesis entitled Computational Screening of Small Molecule Organic Semiconductors, Chi Yang Cheng.
Good morning again. As a reminder, my name's Jonathan Hare. I am, at least I think I still am, Deputy Head of School Education for the School of Electronics and Computer Science. We'll see afterwards. I now get the pleasure of reading out the names, and they are in front of me. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Bachelors of Engineering.
I admit them, and then they're represented here. Something like that.
Yeah. Shall we do this properly? Yeah.
You've got the cards.
Let's try doing this again. The names of the candidates from the School of Electronics and Computer Science are shown in the programme, and I ask that you admit them to their awards.
I admit them, and then they're represented here.
Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Bachelors of Engineering. Harold Michael Hancock. Matthew Jones. Maxim Chavdarov-Kazdanelchev. Agnieszka Trojanowska. Virginia Greco. Alexandros Mavromistakos. Ioana Mara Prida. Janya Singh. Napat Pratamin. Jason Ondiki Ratandi. Joanna Jampolok. Josue Bapek. Beilin Chen. Sir Hank Cheer. Jack Holton. Hugo Hunter. Chu Hee Lau. Dionysius Melicinos. Ian Patrick Monaghan. Oluwatamalola Ayodeji Olabisi. Konstantinos Prensas. Wei Kit Su. James Stockton. Petros Simeon. Mihailo Troshin. Cheng Roy Yong. Sheriff Usama Atia. Chu Yun Chang. Olaf Savinsky. Oliver Edward Grange. Benedict Jack Greenlaw. Isaac Johnson. Hojun Lee. Adrian Lebrama. Yongchen Liu. Chatoya Mihitigal. Pranav Nagarajan. Jamie Ernest Norton. Mohammed Hafiz or Rahman Abdul Razak. Oluwatobiloba Osiyemi. Kian Shah. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Masters of Engineering. Hugo Barber. Jesse Anthony Basigu. Gabriela Horani. William Thomas Aldridge. Lucy Grace Hodgins. Beatrice Pakenham Walsh. Wai Chun Lee. Omar Ahmed. Mohammed Irfan bin Ahmed Fadzli. Shamin Akfar. Sarangan Balakuma. Michael Oluwadorotimi Boronoloa. Joash Waikin Chan. Matthew D. Yun Ching. Mark Ching Din Yu. Yusuf Kahad Ahmed Fadzli. Ishan Bimal Gandhi. Thomas Hall. Delvir Singh Harban Singh. Benjamin Alexander Heath. Heng Wee Chek. Nathan Sir Ming Ho. Chi Yin Lai. Hiba Lamry. Law Yu Shung. Neville Kai Yu Lee. Lim Yi Fan. Mohammed Faris Lukman. Michelle Mo Jing Hui. Hakim bin Maud Aris. Nicholas Nathan Nimbolka. Oluwatisfunmi Boluwatife Omole. Matthew Athol Petty. Shuin Roy Chi. Vengatasalam Saravanan Ramasamy. Beng Hao Se. Elizabeth Sarah Segra. Adriel Chandi Singh. Shin U Sung. Michael Mark Sovell. Emil Stoev. Andrew Taylor. Natalia Suka. Anisha Amandini Uvaraj. Panayota Dimitrova Vangalova. Sukesh Vijayamaran. Christian Webb. James Philip Max Berman. Takudzwa Lionel Mutsego. Kruti Shah. Arti Amin. Thomas Robert Bain. Alexander Robert Banwell. Denis Bobrovsky. Robert Ernest Cheetham. Benjamin David Chilton. Ioannis Christou. Aoife Aubrey Fionn Clark Willis. Marcus George Corbyn. Jonah Foley. Aidan Graham. Hannah Rebecca Irwin. Yan Jia Ki. Marcus Dan Kwok Lam. Joshua John Philip McCaw. Arad Siabi. Henry Saxon Snell. Alex James Stickland. Peter Strong. William Christopher Webb. James David Williams. Lawrence Andrew Woolmer. Gregory Babick. Basil Alexander Bennett Batov. Matthew Braco. Joel Edgar. Matthew Evans. Timothy Fisher. Hock Nien Gan. Ivanka Vasilieva Shrestova. Adwaif Kakadaf Palat. Jayant Kalyan. Rudranch Kotra. Edward Lufadeju. Frederick Simon MacArthur. Benjamin Ekatrai Sanati. Justin Kenachukwa Nemeka Ugwudiki. James David Wald. Abigail Ruth Williams. Yash Yadev. James Sajeev Kalamkal. Nikita Gandhi. Danru Ryan Tarog Lasta. Oana Alexandra Lazar. Millicent Louise Henley. Daniel Adeyemi. Philip Yanitsky. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Masters of Science. San Rakshak Adhikari. Ankana Mukherjee. Keniel Romerio Hurt. Emina Seima Ake. Asma Saad Al-Moza. Ahmed Kamal. Krishna Kumar Sharma. Mohammed Aminul Islam. Anand Jos. Timothy John Luke Smith. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Doctors of Philosophy. For a thesis entitled, Exploring and Utilizing the Effects of Environmental Factors on Memristor Behavior, Thomas Abbey. For a thesis entitled Inference and Learning Algorithms for Wireless Iterative Receivers, Juyu Chen. For a thesis entitled Decentralized Iterative Learning Control for High-Performance Collaborative Tracking and Formation Objectives, Shangchen Chen. For a thesis entitled Checkpointing Strategies for Efficient Reactive Intermittent Computing Systems, Timothy Dolby. For a thesis entitled A Novel Electrostatic Feeding Concept for Liquid-Fed Pulsed Plasma Thrusters, Christian Dobransky. For a thesis entitled Type Spread and Multiple Access Molecular Communications, Weidong Gao. Christos Giotis. For a thesis entitled Random Telegraph Signals in Silicon Single Electron Pump Devices for Quantum Technologies, Kota Ibikuru. For a thesis entitled Intelligent Routing in Urban Vehicular Networks, Teodor Ivanescu. For a thesis entitled Applying Modern Soil Mechanics to Small Mobile Robots, Kaustubh Samir Jalandwala. For a thesis entitled Metal Oxide Thin Film Transistors for Heterogeneous Integration Applications, Ben Daniel Rowlinson. For a thesis entitled Investigating and Developing Low-Cost Wearable Respiration Sensors, Mahdi Mohammed Saleh Abdullah Ahmed Shaban. For a thesis entitled Ultra-Fine Signal Classification Using Memristor-Enabled Hardware, Jiaqi Wan. For a thesis entitled Near and Far Field Wave Shaping for Optofluidic Particle Manipulation, Shanqi Yin. For a thesis entitled Signal Processing for Ultra-Fast Next-Generation Metallic Broadband Access Network, Yangyishi Zhang.
So my name is Professor Sir David Payne. I am the director of the Zeppler Institute Optoelectronics Research Center. The names of the candidates from the Zeppler Institute for Photonics are shown in the programme, and I ask that you admit them to their awards.
I admit them and those in their abstentia.
Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the following Doctors of Philosophy. For a thesis entitled Power Scaling of Mid-Infrared and 2-Micron Laser Sources, Matthew James Barber. For a thesis entitled Rapid Point-of-Care Testing Solutions to Meet Clinical Needs, Alice Isles. For a thesis entitled Silicon Nitride Integrated Optical Phased Array Devices, Applications and Systems, Stefan Tudor-Illy. For a thesis entitled Atomic Scale Dynamics of Thermal and Driven Motion in Photonic Nanostructures, Tongjun Liu. For a thesis entitled Waveguide Platforms for Mid-Infrared On-Chip Spectrometer Applications, Vasilios Margilas. For a thesis entitled Mid-Infrared Photodetection Using Intrinsic Monolithic Integrated Germanium Photodiodes, Lorna Reed. For a thesis entitled Multimode Hollow Core Anti-Resonant Optical Fibers, William Henry Warren Shear. For a thesis entitled Compound Semiconductor Photonic Devices, Monolithically Integrated on Silicon, Ilias Skandalos. For a thesis entitled The Study of Bismuth-Doped Fibers and the Development of Broadband Bismuth-Doped Fiber Amplifiers, Yu Wang. So once again, my name is Professor Sir David Payne, and I'm the Director of the Optoelectronics Research Centre, ORC, as it's shortened. I speak today on behalf of the Faculty of Engineering and Physical Sciences. So first, the ORC. We are a postgraduate school in the faculty, a flagship research institute, and a world leader in photonics research, the science of light that powers our daily lives. While the term photonics remains unfamiliar to most people, so does the UK's position as a photonics big hitter, with Southampton at its centre. This fast-growing industry delivers £1.5 billion a year to the economy and exports an impressive 75% of its manufacturing output. Twice as many people are employed in UK photonics than are employed in the steel or the space industries. We are the largest photonics institute in the UK and have a truly phenomenal track record that includes many of the key devices that power the internet upon which we all depend. Many of which are manufactured right here in Southampton by our many spin-out companies, what we call our Photonics Valley. Laser-based treatments for skin conditions, new optical tests for COVID, next-generation superfast data centres, speeding transactions in the City of London, digitally shrinking the UK with new faster optical fibres, making manufacture greener with lasers and new navigation aids for airliners are all Southampton inventions. Collaborations with and sponsorship from big names like Saudi Aramco, Microsoft, Honeywell, and the US government testify to the university's worldwide reputation. And of course, our postgraduate students are an integral and critical part of the research team and some of the finest students in the world working in this important research area. Those of you graduating today are already world leaders in your field, and this is shown by the 500 or so publications to which you have contributed during your 4 years here. Our School of Chemistry has also much to be proud of. From helping clinicians prescribe the most effective cancer treatments to accelerating improvements in solar power. Biophotonics and imaging to nuclear magnetic resonance for detecting and halting the enzyme that causes cancer to spread to different parts of the body. Topaz Cartledge, a PhD student working on this, was selected as one of the only 2 participants from the University of Southampton attending the Global Young Scientist Summit in Singapore that brings together Nobel laureates and the top scientific minds. Chemistry has recently obtained equipment in both electron diffraction and 2D mass spectrometry, which will push the boundaries of what these technologies can do. These facilities are rare in the UK and will allow new levels of analysis of materials, including fuels, energy storage materials, batteries, and pharmaceuticals. Viridco 2, a School of Chemistry spin-out company based on one of its PhD students' research, aims to transfer waste carbon dioxide into valuable chemical products. The company has already secured £3 million in seed funding that recognises the potential of its novel carbon capture and utilisation technology to reduce CO2 emissions. Electronics and computer science is one of our largest and fastest growing schools. It is proud of its tradition of working with industry to make the world a better place and create jobs and wealth in the UK. This year, 18 electrical and electronic engineering students have received industrial sponsorship through the UK Electronic Skills Foundation. Twice as many scholarships as any other UK university. The next highest being Imperial College, London, with 9 scholars. 22% of our scholars are women. An ECS student has either come first or runner-up in the National UK Electronic Skills Foundation Scholar of the Year Award competition every year, except one, with 8 Scholars of the Year in the last 12 years. MN student Leon Brindley was runner-up this year. Cybersecurity is a particular strength and essential to the protection of the nation. This year, a team of 4 ECS students competed in the finals for the UK Cyber Strategy Challenge and were the only technical team to make it to the live rounds. They were highly commended by judges from industry and government for their unique insights and teamwork. ECS also had 3 students doing individual projects that were commended by the Chief Scientific Advisor for Policing's team and their research into current forensic challenges. ECS is famous for its work in artificial intelligence and are now leading the UK's research agenda in responsible and trustworthy artificial intelligence with a £30 million grant from the UK government just announced. Naturally, ECS degree programs strongly benefit from this research so that its undergraduates leave with a sense of purpose and integrity in rapidly changing areas such as AI. Finally, let me say how honored I am to have served at the University of Southampton from undergraduate to research director for 60 years. "57 years ago, I crossed this stage to receive my Southampton degree, feeling both nervous and proud, apprehensive at what the world had to bring. Let me assure you, a Southampton degree opens doors to an extraordinary range of options. And all of you have an amazing future in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Now that you have all had your moment on the stage, there's still much to do. There's many hugs to be had, photos to be taken, and it says here, glasses to be raised. So I hope you take part in that. I will keep this last part of the ceremony as brief as possible. Well, this is very much your day. I think you should also look around you and thank all the friends and family that support you, as well as the lecturers and all the staff from the university that help you make a graduate of Southampton University. As Sir David said, that's something you should really be proud of, and it helps open doors for the future. So when you leave your seats, please show your gratitude with them all. Let me also take this minute to say thank you to you, the graduates. Thank you for choosing Southampton University. Thank you for your hard work, your dedication, and your bright minds. And thank you for all that you are going to go on and do. You are now part of our extensive alumni community. There are, in fact, over 280,000 of you spanning over 185 countries and overseas territories. So wherever you go in the world, I'm sure you'll run into a Southampton graduate. Some of their T-shirts may be faded. Your alumni community is invaluable, and so I ask you to use your place within it as much as you can. Learn from others, forge connections, and keep in touch. I urge you to consider giving back too. Becoming a mentor, for example, to a student that's here. It's a wonderful way of ensuring you stay in contact and also helping others. But most importantly, the alumni community and the university is here to support you going forward, and you're never alone in your endeavours. So finally, I'd like to ask you all to make a final round of applause to recognise the graduates and the achievements of the staff of the university and everyone else, and congratulations to you all. Please make some noise. I now formally declare this ceremony closed. Thank you.